I'm the biggest and baddest man in professional wrestling, Hunter Wolfe, and you're drinking at Moe's.
This is Drinkinatmos, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's also mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin' at Moe's, where we don't quit. Drinkin' at Moe's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drinkinatmos, just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinking at Moe's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee. The exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee, and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince Nana Coffee. All right, everybody, welcome Drinking at Moe's. Big Mo here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good shit, because YouTube's algorithm's a pain in the ass. Don't forget about the audio platforms. Leave a review and everything there too. Today, I'm excited to have with me a veteran of the independent wrestling business. Funny enough, speaking to a veteran of a different kind. But we're talking with Hunter Wolfe tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Mo.
Good deal. Good deal. Like I said, I'm
Excited.
excited to have you on. And the first thing I like to start off with everybody with is what got you started as a fan, and then what got you deciding to make the leap into the business?
So what got me as a fan was late night. I was probably 6 or 7, and my mom loved NCIS, and NCIS on Monday night was right before Raw. So
I remember.
NCIS ended, and then Raw came on, and they did a recap. And I don't remember a lot of it, but the moment that singed my mind, I was like, I got to watch this next week. I watched Randy Orton punt Stephanie McMahon in the head.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? I got to tune in next week. So it became just normal for my family to watch Raw. And then my granny, when I'd stay at her house, she didn't have USA, but it was like Me TV or something where I'm from, and it was SmackDown. She goes, well, we got Raw, but we got SmackDown, and then led from there.
Awesome. So that's when steered into becoming a fan. When did you decide to finally make the leap in? Like, was there a moment you watched that you're like, you know what, I know what I want to do?
Well, I was like 17, fixing to get out of high school, no future, nothing I wanted to do with my life, but I just enjoyed watching wrestling. And I started working at my family business. Well, it just so happened that a previous employee there, his son ran a local independent promotion in the next town over. So networked my way in and said, and I walked in the front doors and said, my name is Hunter and I'm here to wrestle.
Hey,
And it took off from there.
hey, yeah. Everybody has their own origin story in the business. I love hearing about it because, oh God, I've heard so damn many by this point. Like, I'm trying to remember how many. I mentioned close to 450 episodes of this show, so like I've heard the whole gambit of all of it. I still love hearing it because everybody has their own moments that got them in. Now, that first little bit in the business, I've come to understand, can be a bit of a feeling out process with, how you're going to be in the ring, how, like, character development, I guess, for a lack of a better way to put it that I can't seem to think of right now. How did it come about for you? Because, that first little bit can be, figuring out what's going to stick, what isn't, some people go through multiple different personas in that first little bit in the business.
Yeah. For me, it's my first character. Of course, I'm from Tennessee. They don't care what you want. You're a country boy as soon as you start. You're wearing blue jeans and a white t-shirt and boots out to the ring. I didn't like that. Didn't like it one bit. So I just started thinking of, what would be pretty cool. Uh, and you know what? I was like, I really like Call of Duty. Why don't I just cosplay or whatever as a Call of Duty villain, like the full like black military-esque look? I used to have the face shields, like the that just
Oh
pulled
yeah.
up and pull down, and looked like one of the ones from Call of Duty Ghost. I could
Okay.
pull up and pull down. Now that was cool, but then I was like, man, I'm really tall. I'm wearing all this military gear, and I have the face shield up. I'm not a shield member. So there went that. And then I'm like, I'm just going to learn how to wrestle and then just see what happens to land on my lap. So I just kept training and kept training. And then I was like, it just snapped for me one day that I'm tired of and I'll be honest here, a bunch of guys around this area were just joining in. They had no training whatsoever, but I did. So I was like, you know what? I'm big enough. I can outmuscle them. I can do whatever I want with them. What are they going to do about it? So it just progressed from there. Like, oh, there's actual thought process of what I can do. Let's just crank it up to 11.
No,
Like
that
I'm the biggest and baddest guy around. What are you going to do?
no, you know what? I like that because you know I gravitate towards a lot of those intense personas, and that just sounds like one hell of an intense persona right there. Because it's like, yeah, you're a big dude. What is somebody coming in that's going to be significantly smaller and with barely any training? What are they going to be able to do to deal with the big man such as yourself?
Yeah. I always like a little bit of reality sprinkled in my wrestling.
I those those are the personas that seem to really stick with the fans. I know at least it did for me.
Yeah. I think it's because they feel that it's more real and they can connect to it better.
I I would venture to guess right along with that. Now, one of the places that I've seen advertised for you a bunch, and I'm still learning about a bunch of new places out there, and I've seen a a few shows out there for volunteer championship wrestling, and volunteer state. I mean, it fits, but I'm seeing a lot of interesting shows popping up for them. What has your experience been like there for people that might not be in the general area?
Volunteer Championship Wrestling, I know they've only had one show so far, and that was back on May 30th. That was our first ever show.
That was the first ever one. Okay, because I've been seeing some others to that, but now that I think about it, that is uh, in the future that I've seen future stuff advertised for that.
So the promoter actually hit me up today, and I knew he had one booked, but he's booked three shows in September, all across East Tennessee. Plus, he's working with other local promotions, but he mainly runs his one single individual one. Uh, yeah, I know the promoter. He seems legit, very good guy. Uh, Hope it takes off and is a solid promotion in the area because we
Yeah,
lost a whole bunch of them recently, a whole bunch of solid promotions.
yeah.
It's just one thing after another. There used to be one called MSWA.
Okay.
The promoter, he just got the older he got, the more sick he got, and he's like, I gotta hang up because I ain't got an enemy no more.
Mm.
Fair enough, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then the other one was my home fed, TPW, Total Professional Wrestling.
Okay.
That's probably the one that's got most of my name value from.
Okay.
That one was amazing. Those days were great, especially when we did the Chatterbox shows. But there's one thing after another. It's hard to find buildings nowadays that will run, and
Mm.
a lot of people are willing to take on wrestling because they just see it as some silly, stupid thing, and then others like, we don't want to do it here. You can try here, and they just lead you on a wild goose chase, and one thing leads to another, and you can't get a booking in time
Yeah,
for a next show.
that I've seen a lot of that, and it's unfortunate. There's been some infamous examples of stuff going wrong at shows and causing buildings to just say, "Okay, we're done with wrestling." That all that long ago happened over in Chicago. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate, and because it can bring in a lot of money for the places that do support it.
Yeah. Like I was saying, the Chatterbox is a bar in Knoxville, right off the main highway that goes from South Knoxville to Sevierville. And it's the only bar in the area that has a backyard fenced in. So
Mm.
you can actually, that's where we were running out of. Uh, but yeah, it was a great venue. The bar sold out of alcohol every night we ran down there. They didn't even charge us. Like most venues will charge a fee to run there and whatnot. They didn't
Yeah,
charge us because they made all their money back on alcohol.
I bet. Yeah.
And it was great shows. We were talking like 200 to 300 people a show coming there. And it just so happened their insurance company caught wind that we were wrestling there after 5, 6 years of doing shows there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not gonna keep your policy if you keep doing those shows there. That's too dangerous, and we can't keep you on. We can't cover that. So that was like, unfortunately, we got to stop having shows here. We understood, but then come to later find out that that insurance company, because I'm close with them, I'm close with bartenders. I still go there, and I know the owners personally. That same insurance company made them stop having. They had a concert stage out there too, with a low with a 20 by 20 concrete patio type deal.
Yeah.
They saw people dancing on that patio deal. They're like, "Oh, is that a dance floor?" They're like, "No, it's just a place where we concreted at to make a foundation for that stage." Well, that's a dance floor, and we're dubbing it a dance floor. We don't cover dance floors, so they just had to stop doing outdoor. They had to stop bringing in bands, and then
Wow.
they saw a horseshoe throw, and they're like, "We can't cover that either because somebody can fall on that. We can't cover you there." So it's all just like not just wrestling, but just having fun things to do. It's hard to find places that will allow you to do it.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know. I don't get it because uh, although on one hand, yeah, you depending on the type of wrestling you run in certain places, I can see some insurance places being worried about that, but then I don't think some of those insurance companies factor in, just the sheer amount of different genres of wrestling out there that would not run those risks. Like, obviously, if you're running a no ring deathmatch show, yeah, I can see some of the insurance companies maybe being a little worried about that.
Yeah, and to that company's fault, TPW, they're all the last two matches of the show is always for the fans, and those were typically death matches. Like you get all your stories and stuff done the first 5 matches, and last two, here, watch people bleed type stuff.
Yeah, I
And they
mean,
could have just simply said, stop doing death matches, and we would pretty sure they would stop doing death matches.
oh yeah, no, I would like to think so, but shit happens, I guess. Now, one thing that I've seen a couple shows pop up. I believe one of them already happened. That kind of merges. I mean, the worlds of music and wrestling kind of already merge pretty damn well. But there's been two shows I saw pop up on Facebook, both one rock and wrestling and another that I believe is coming up Sep- I'm wanting to say September, but I mean you can probably correct me on that. But Barnyard Brawl and Boogie.
Yeah, the Rock and Wrestling was they're both VCW shows. Uh, the Rock and Wrestling, they literally for intermission, they pulled in a flatbed trailer and had a live band there play for intermission.
Nice.
And from what I hear, this Barnyard and Boogie show, it's going to be at a rodeo, so they're going to have country music playing at that one.
Okay. Sounds like two shows that I wouldn't mind because I mean, well, I like to consider my listening taste pretty well rounded, like listening to just about everything. Rock and the country are probably the two that I listen to the most.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, it was really fun about that is my first ever dream job is I wanted to be a professional bull rider, so I get to go take part in the rodeo too.
nice. Yeah, one of the first events, well, I want to say, yeah, one of the first events my wife and I ever took our son to was the rodeo at the arena that's like hour or so away from our house. That was pretty fun. I can't even remember how old he was. He was probably, I wouldn't even say half a year old yet.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. But country music, I've been, well, pretty much ever since I, was in the Navy and got homesick. And then all of a sudden I just became a big country music fan because country music reminded me of back home here in Nebraska. And funny enough, one of my favorite country singers, I actually got a signed guitar from him hanging on my wall back here, Dirks Bentley.
Yeah.
I was just going to a show thinking, oh, I'm going to see how close I can get. Before I know it, partway through the show, pulls me up on stage and I'm shotgunning a beer and I still got the can. But I love the feel of some of those music and wrestling shows because I mean you get a little something for everybody. And when I think of some of my favorite wrestling shows, whether it be the music and wrestling shows or just a straight wrestling show, there's a little something for everybody.
Yeah. I got music's a big part of wrestling. Like even the small details, like my entrance, I guess you would say, is "Extermination" by Upon a Burning Body, and
Mm.
nobody has no clue what that song is saying except for the first line. The lead singer screams, "Save your pity for the weak," and I was like, "There you go. That makes sense. I'm not weak. Save your pity for them." But I remember
Uh,
you talking about that Dirk Bentley show because when you invited me onto the podcast, I was like, "Well, I'll check out one of your episodes." And I saw you had one with Jake Lawless.
oh yeah.
And you talked to him about that. Yeah, that was my old buddy we used to work for his Uncle Bert.
Oh nice. Yeah, no, I remember that episode well. I remember when I forget if it was I posted the actual episode or whether it was the post about just having done the recording and posted it on Instagram. And before I know it, all of a sudden Al Snow's liking it. And I'm like, what? Like that kind of caught me off guard there for a second because I was like, wait, even though I knew. And then, oh God, yeah, that was a fun one. Okay, now it got me looking at my notes here because some of the music and wrestling, and I also saw a show at. It looked like it was going to be at a unique location, Rocky Top Splash Pad, Hot Summer Nights.
That was this past weekend. Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, that was just the 20th, right?
Yeah. So that show usually runs at that town's community center, but the whole reason I had it take place at the splash pad was because they had to do construction on the parking lot of the community center.
Ah,
It was more like a venue move because they had to rebuild the parking lot, and that was the
wow.
only flat place in that town that we can throw a ring up in.
Although it got me thinking when I saw that show was that happened there, that it got me thinking back to the old WCW spring break shows where they used to have the ring over the pool, and
Yeah.
I'd always be praying that somebody would get thrown into the water.
So speaking of that, you remember the what is the one that it's like Dustin Rhodes and somebody got in trouble? It was the one where they did a match on a semi
on
trailer.
the trailer of the truck. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of like 3, 4 years in, I get booked on this for a float for one of these promotions I was working for, right? They had the match on the float moving through the parade. Like they
Wow.
built a ring on a gooseneck trailer and had a battle royal in on the trailer in a ring.
That is awesome.
And you eliminate people by tossing them over the ring, off the trailer, and onto the asphalt.
I Dude, man, like tell me there's some footage of that around on like YouTube
I
or something.
wish I wanted to, but this was like early in my career.
Mm.
But yeah, it was I think it was
Oh,
like a Christmas themed battle royal because it's for the Christmas parade.
okay.
Right? I remember grabbing the tree because they had like a 5 foot tall fake tree. And for
Yeah.
the finish, I grabbed it, spun around and clocked the guy with it, and he did the over the top and went out that way.
Oh my god, that is funny. Oh man. Now somebody needs to run that back and get somebody to record that because damn it, now that makes me I want to watch that shit.
It was fun.
Oh,
Luckily, we were going like 3 miles an hour, but it was fun.
oh
And
man.
we had to make it last the whole parade time.
The whole
Like, like the bell rung as soon as the float turned onto the highway and it ended. The match had to end by the time we get to the end of the parade.
wow. That is something. Like there have been many unique match types in the history of professional wrestling, but up until you mentioned that, I don't think I'd ever heard of that being done. That is something.
That was fun. That was
Oh,
years ago. That was fun.
wow.
Yeah.
Now, I have some questions coming up in here in a little bit that, heck, that right there might fit into the answer of one of them. We'll see when we get to it because God, think, man, match types happening in unique places and just unique locations for wrestling. I never heard of it. In a damn parade. That is something. That
Parade
is
float battle royal.
wow. That's something. Now, I have two categories. One's a bit of a name game where I name off some people. You give me some quick thoughts on each of them.
Okay.
Now, I try to theme it towards the guests as much as possible. And, being from Tennessee, each of these people, I don't think I'm going to have an issue with knowing who any of these people are. Although I will admit, one of them I almost didn't remember actually has a home in Tennessee. When I went to look up pro wrestlers from Tennessee, I'm like, I saw this guy's name on here. I'm like, huh. But then I remembered, oh yeah, that one, I'm leaving that one for last. So I give you the name, quick thought on the person.
Okay.
First one, Jeff Jarrett.
Guitar. That's immediately what I think of is his guitar.
Oh, yeah, nope. Hard not to think of those guitar shots.
Yeah.
But that and good Lord, I love my Dr. Pepper, but it gives me the burps like crazy. But
I think the promoter, speaking, I'll just get over this.
oh
The
yeah,
promoter talked for VCW talked to me today, and he's actually in talks with Jeff Jarrett. He's like, I was supposed to get Jeff Jarrett for that rodeo show, but he said he couldn't make it, so I'm going to end up working something out with Tommy Wildfire Rich. And I was like, oh well, that works.
hey, that's some. I'm I'm in. Well, I've already confirmed a date with somebody that. Well, heck, I've already announced it, so it's not like I'm having to hold anything back. But speaking of that, I confirmed a recording date with well, I guess he's going by Joseph Sawyer now, but the former Joe Gacy.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that one. I'll admit a little bit. But all right. Next up, the King, Jerry Lawler.
Chain.
Any other thought? It doesn't have to be one word, but
Oh, uh, mainly the one word is chain because this is go back early career. One of I first started wrestling for Burt Prentice, which was like 2 years, 3 years into me wrestling. One of my first groups of matches, I end up. This is going well. Rest Bert's soul, and that show doesn't exist anymore. I was the Dragon Master there doing the Jerry Lawler's farewell tour, and I
okay.
ended up wrestling Jerry Lawler while I was under a hood, and I just remember him blasting me in the face with a chain.
Yeah, no, I see why you say that for the like just one word. Yeah, that would fit.
Yeah, but hey, I got a match against Jerry Lawler, and that's not a lot of people can say that,
Hey, yeah, no, that's something. That is something.
especially when I was like 20 years old.
Yeah, you can. Nobody can take that away from you. Now, next up, well, the female on the list here, Bianca Belair.
University of Tennessee.
Definitely. I'm.
I
I'm. Oh, go ahead.
I literally live 10 minutes from that campus.
No kidding.
So UT runs hard in Tennessee. I get from I don't know how familiar you are with SEC football.
Little bit. I
A little
served
bit.
with some people
Aren't you like
from
Big Ten
South.
or something? Big Ten.
Big Ten, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Uh, SEC football out here is like a religious thing.
Hmm.
Like nobody works on Saturdays if your team is playing type stuff.
Ah,
So having her, and especially with her being from the University of Tennessee, it's like a big deal, especially for
oh,
the community area. I know people who are friends with her, who went to college with her, who are family friends with her. It's she's a big deal around here.
oh, I bet, and deservedly so. Like I know, I mean, Nebraska, we maybe we don't we do it pretty good here, but as far as like people not working Saturdays, I mean, I'll admit, my family in particular, we've had season tickets in the family on my dad's side ever since that infamous sellout streak started, like way back before I was ever even thought of, and now, yeah, we've had them ever since. So, but that and Bianca, I gotta admit, I'm happy for her and her husband because I believe, I mean, I could be wrong, but I swear I remember hearing them having some difficulties becoming pregnant, and
Mhm.
now they're expecting, me being still a relatively new father. My
Oh, same.
son's about year and a half, maybe like right around there. So,
I get it. I recently became a dad too. My son's 2 months old.
oh boy,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we're in that routine era now.
oh
But it's
yeah,
all right, because this weekend he's at his grandparents.
oh yeah. No, there's still some nights are easy sleeping nights, other nights not so much.
The 2 a.m. feedings and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
right. Getting up at 4 to go to the shoot and all that stuff.
Yep. Oh God, I do not miss that part of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even now he's getting a few more teeth in. So, like I said, some nights sleep not so good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I still I love him to death. He's my little buddy.
oh, he's mine is too. I do everything I can for him. I started building stuff for him before he was even born.
Oh man, I my wife had to tell me to calm down buying toys for him before he was even born, because I was like,
Mine too.
every
So
time I went, like literally every paycheck I have, like I would, I don't think I went overboard, but there would be a little bit where I'd buy him something every paycheck. Like I was like, I am gonna have him. He's gonna have stuff before he even gets here.
that's how I was. That's how I am, or was am. Uh, I was really big into dinosaurs when I was a kid.
Mm,
Super massive in the dinosaurs. I'm like, well, if I was really big, so he, I went and made a table for him because I had one growing up. And instead of just being like a flat top table, I went through and made spray foamed it and formed it out and made like I guess you'd call it his own little Jurassic Park. Went
mm,
through and filled it up with Jurassic Park toys.
nice,
So when he gets older, he has his own little park he can play in.
nice. Love that. I was doing, growing up, it was always pro wrestling and Ninja Turtles for me. So I went and a lot of pro wrestling and Ninja Turtle stuff. Like I had a few of these like plushy versions of different pro wrestlers. I think I got him Bray Wyatt, Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, and I want to say Macho Man. I got him all of those guys. I got him a few Ninja Turtle stuff, and oh yeah, I forgot. I almost forgot my other things that I got him a bunch of. My favorite non-Pixar Disney movie, Lilo and Stitch. I got him a whole bunch of Stitch stuff, and my wife constantly, every time we go out, I see some Stitch stuff, and I'm like, "Ooh." She's like, "We don't need everything." I'm like, "Yes, we do."
So every time we would go through Walmart to get groceries, we'd swing by the toy aisle and just check out to see if they dropped any new dinosaur toys or whatever for them. I'm like, oh, we can get that, we can get that, we can get that.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
go on eBay and Marketplace and see who's selling their old toys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, last but not least on this list, the one that I said I almost forgot actually at least had a home in Tennessee. I'm pretty sure they still do. Rusev.
Rusev. I met him once. It was in passing, but I met him once. Uh, but if I had to say one thing about him, like one word, it's Maserati, because one of his favorite things is when they were doing the real life stuff in the early WWE network. He goes,
Yeah.
yeah, I bought a Maserati because not only am I stronger than you, I'm going to be faster than you.
I always, when it comes to him, I always remember the story of the WrestleMania that he had the tank in his entrance, and he talked about him and Lana were having sex in the tank. I'm like,
That's amazing.
here you go, dude. Hey, why the hell not? You know?
I mean, you got a tank, you can do whatever you want in it.
Hey, yep. All right, now some random questions, some wrestling related, some not. I give you a question, first answer that pops into your head.
All
So
right.
I mentioned a little bit ago some of the stuff that we had already talked about that might fit into some of these answers. First one, craziest in-match moment for you. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if it was the Christmas parade
The
battle
Christmas
royal.
Parade Battle Royal. Uh,
I mean, that was
that
sick.
might be it. I had a few matches that when I realized it's going to crap. I'm just like, let's just have fun with this. And we just make up stuff as we're going.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that. But if I say, can I include things that happen during the show and happen later on?
Oh yeah.
All right. So TPW, forget the show. Last show was a death match, and I forget why, but a ham was used. That's not the good part.
Oh God. Okay.
The
Now.
next morning, we come back and we start cleaning up. I find the ham. It's still packaged. There's no punctures in it. It was 29 degrees that night. This ham is still partially frozen and preserved. And we're burning like the scrap boards and whatnot, the broken doors. And I look over at one of my buddies, and his dad's there helping us. And we're just looking around, and his dad reaches down and picks up a cookie sheet. No blood, nothing on it. And me and him lock eyes. We shake heads. We go over to the fire and cook the ham. We're burning boards. We're burning like broken tables, broken doors, and whatnot. And we're cooking this ham on top of the fire. The venue we were working at looks outside, asks what we're doing, and we're cooking this ham. And right about then, my other guy's like, hey, I found this meat fork. We're now basting, stabbed it through the ham, and we're rolling it, cooking it so it's evenly cooked. The bar, we're at the bar. The bartender comes outside and hands us seasoning. Now we're seasoning the ham as we're cooking it. My buddy's dad's like, I got this. So we continue tearing down the ring, cleaning up. By the time we're done, this ham's done. And we eat
God.
it. Like this, nobody's ever going to believe we ate a ham. We called it the hardcore ham. And we had this little trainee, and he's sitting there chanting, hardcore ham, hardcore ham, hardcore ham, as he's cooking.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's probably one of them that nobody ever believes.
You know what? If I weren't talking to somebody that was like you that was there while it was happening, I probably wouldn't have believed it myself.
There's the occasional things that I've done in the locker room for people who deserve to learn a lesson or two. I mean, I can get in that, but I won't name names.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, heck, let's go
All right,
for we'll go for like one of them.
hypotheticals, right?
Hypotheticals.
Uh, I'm working for this company, and they had a couple girls on the show, right? Well, the girls they could wrestle, but they were told, "Don't wrestle, just go out there and be eye candy. That's all you are," and that's how they were treating them. I don't consider myself like a white knight dude, but I'm like, you can wrestle, freaking wrestle.
Yeah.
And I got fed up with him, and got in his face a few times over some personal stuff. And then I hear them talking about the girls like that. I'm like, F this dude. And I just happened to have to use the bathroom. And they had a shower in this locker side of the locker room. There's a bathroom. The bathroom for the boys has a shower in it. The Booker's clothes are pissing me off are laying in the floor. So I'm looking at, I'll start, do my business. I just go, yeah. And I take 45-degree turn right on his clothes. And then I turn back and flush the toilet and walk out.
Oh, man. Hey, I the dude deserved it.
Like everybody hated this guy. Nobody respected him. Everything was gone to crap. But I may or may not have pissed on his clothes.
I mean, well, I guess I I would have thought maybe somebody would have thrown the clothes into the shower, but then it's like, well, you're already kind of starting the process of washing his clothes if you pissed on him after that. So it's like, eh, let him deal with the stink.
But yeah, had to do it. Felt like he deserved it.
Hey, no, I would tend to agree with you there. Now, mention some unique locations for wrestling matches. I mean, wrestling shows, wrestling matches. I mean, we talked about the parade. We talked about, well, maybe not one that you participated in, but, the WCW spring break shows where they were at that place down in Florida. Now, what is an off the wall sort of place that you've been on a show or a match or where the off the wall location?
Off the wall location. Um, I remember one time I was in Ohio and I was told it's going to be a barroom wrestling match. And I show up to the venue and it's a ballerina studio with a tarp on the floor. And
Oh,
I'm trying to give this promoter the benefit of the doubt. And I go, hey, is the ring blade or something? He goes, oh, no, there's no ring. You're going to wrestle on the tarp in a ballerina studio.
huh.
Um, I did a show in a guy's backyard in Philadelphia.
Ooh.
Uh, it is what it is.
Yeah. That, yeah.
I've done a show in a guy's front yard.
Oh, you,
So
you don't really hear about the front yard ones. You hear about the
no,
backyard stuff.
I walked up and I looked at the front. I was like, I've heard of backyard BS. Now we're looking at front yard effery.
Yeah, no, front yard fucker. Yeah, that'd be about. Well, yeah, you don't hear about that. That's a
No,
that's
never the front yard. It's always the backyard, but no, this one was the front yard.
that's something else. That is something else. Now, with the name of a show like I have, I feel like I have to ask this.
Okay.
Favorite drink, alcoholic or otherwise, or shit, you can name both.
So my favorite drink, I am a true Southern man, is sweet tea.
Okay, got. I can respect that.
Yeah. But other than that, that's about it. I'll drink sweet tea any day of the week.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't drink any of these behind me. These are just for show.
Ah, yeah, I don't drink near to the level that I used to. I mean, I still do, but most of my first year in the Navy was spent down, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, that whole area, and you had some good sweet tea down there. And I got spoiled. You don't get anything like that up here in Nebraska. I'll say that.
I messed up one time when I was in Ohio. I went to a Cracker Barrel and I was just tired and I just ordered my normal breakfast and it's always give me a biscuits and gravy eggs, bacon, extra biscuits, large bowl of gravy, and a sweet tea and a water. And she just looked at me like, "What kind of tea?" I said, "Yeah, sweet tea." I was tired. I didn't realize where I was in Ohio, not anywhere godly. She comes back and hands me a tea and she goes, "See if this is sweet enough." And I took a sip of it, and it was disgusting.
Mm.
Because they clearly poured unsweet tea in there, and there's a little bit of sugar. And she goes, "Is it good?" And I reached over to the little bowl thing they have full of like Splenda or whatever, grabbed the pure sugar, like I'd say like 7 or 8 packets, rip them all open and pour it into my one single cup. Started in there sipping. I go, "That's close enough."
Yeah, that'd be about it. Like, good
And
God.
then what made it better is I was going to leave, and she goes, "Would you like to have a sweet tea to go?" And I was like, "God no, God doesn't live in Ohio. Neither does sweet tea."
Oh man, I I've been lucky enough to talk with some great people from Ohio, but from you know being a Nebraska football fan and us not really liking Ohio State. Yeah, no, fuck Ohio.
See, I have family in Cincinnati, and I love Skyline Chili. But I was up near Cleveland for these shows, right?
Yeah.
And I remember it's like, "Oh, I get to see my first ever Great Lake." And it was Lake Erie. And I remember walking out, standing on the beach. It was like, "This place sucks," and then getting walking back to my room because it smelled awful. There's dead fish everywhere. You can't walk on the sand because it's all mud, and you just step right through it. It's like this
Yeah.
place sucks.
Yeah. No, last Great Lake I even saw was conveniently enough when I was at Navy boot camp, and it's just north of Chicago. So graduating boot camp, got to see a little bit of Lake Michigan, but I don't think I've seen any of the other ones.
Now, Lake Erie, it was like Erie or Lake Huron. It might have been Huron because I wasn't. Yeah, it had to be Huron because I was in Huron, Ohio, staying, which makes sense. But yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, I Ohio is one of the few states that I haven't been to yet. Probably
I
only.
got, I got family there, and I love them to death. Right? They let me. They have nice places. They live in the rich part of Cincinnati, so I get to sleep nice.
Ah,
And I love Skyline Chili, but
yeah.
going anywhere north of Cincinnati, it ain't happening.
I will have to keep that in mind because literally the only times I can, well, I am kind of a theme park guy, but only time I could really think of me really wanting to go there is either I know Sammy Callahan's promotion Revolver does a lot in Ohio, and I got a few people that have become fans of the podcast from Ohio that have said I should come to Ohio Revolver Show. I'm like, yeah, shit, maybe someday. That or I'm a big either Green Bay Packers guy, or when it comes to baseball, I was stationed in San Diego, so I got love for my San Diego Padres. So going to going to a game for either of those two teams in Ohio, yeah, I might have to go check some of that stuff out because the amount of damn times I've heard of it.
Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't. And it's going to sound weird. Have you ever had Skyline Chili before?
I have not.
You know they put it on spaghetti.
I do. I know that much.
It's actually pretty freaking good.
I'm
It's like how I explain. Going through like downtown, like the southern part of Ohio, there's more Skyline chilies I've seen than McDonald's. It's
that's
that freaking popular.
that's something. Hmm.
That's the only good part. Family and Skyline chili.
Hey, now last but not least, here, best advice you have for anybody wanting to get into wrestling.
You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, so you better pick one. Wrestling is not for anybody who thinks they can just hop in, throw on a pair of tights and a pair of boots and say that I'm a wrestler. If you want to be a actual, like, I'd say respected member, you got to like put in the time, put in the effort. I was told for my trainer, you're going to love this business or you're going to hate it with everything you have. And even when you're in it, like I have a love hate relationship with wrestling. I'm pretty sure everyone I've met has a love hate relationship with wrestling.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that it can definitely, if you want to stay in it, you definitely got to end up loving it because the damage you guys put your bodies through, it's like, why the hell else would you be doing it if you didn't love it?
My wife asked me, she goes, explain wrestling, your relationship with wrestling. I was like, uh, the closest I can get to it, like I've ever heard, is you ever heard that Eminem song, Black Magic?
I don't know if I have.
So I found out a lot of Eminem songs, when he talks about a girl, he's actually talking about rap, right? Black Magic, for me, I associate instead of that being a girl or rap music, it's wrestling. And it's talking about how he has this love hate relationship with this girl, rap music, and he hates her, but he can't live without her. And when it's great, but when it's bad, it's awful.
Yeah.
And he's like, I cannot escape it because I gotta stay in it.
Oh yeah. No, I can definitely see that because heck, the little bit I had some involvement with the wrestling shows, it's like, yeah, once you get bitten by that bug, it's like it's hard to, you get that itch. You gotta scratch it. It's hard to not do it.
Yeah, because like my biggest and a lot of people's biggest gripes are always the people who come in untrained and
Mm,
think they're something. That's that's how one you get hurt. Two, it looks bad on the business because you have a bunch of people who don't look like wrestlers trying to play wrestler.
yeah.
Then you have those times where it's like you're not getting bookings. Like this year alone, I had to take some time off. I went like 3 months with maybe one booking, and that was just because like it was back to back. My wife gives birth. I had to have surgery on a broken foot. My one show, I come back, I end up hyperextending my knee. So
Mm.
it's like, this is awful, and I can only get one booking. But it's getting better. I'm looking at the rest of the summer and starting into the winter now.
Hey.
But it's always that love hate relationship where I feel like wrestling hates me, then wrestling loves me.
Yeah, and you can switch back and forth multiple times.
Yeah.
Now, before we go, where can people find you social media wise? So if they don't already have their eyes on you, they can go ahead and get them there.
So my Instagram is Hunter Wolf PW, and my Facebook, of course, is Hunter Wolf. I don't really spend time on Twitter or anything like that. I don't have Threads or TikTok. But yeah, mainly those two are where you can get me. And if a promoter or anybody's ever looking out for a booking or want to talk, you can DM me through there, and I'm usually pretty good at answering within a good, not within like a day, maybe a few hours of the message or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I remember reaching out for this, and yeah, you're very responsive with it. So we'll get all of that in the description of the episode. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight. Been an absolute pleasure. I wish you and your little one well, and you're welcome back absolutely anytime.
I'd love to come back. I thank you for having me, man.
Very welcome. All right, now my issue. I told you my issue with this fucking button, my fat fucking thumbs. See, I don't even know if I got